are necessary. You can call the center to set up the date and time at 270-365-7446. Of course, as always, Caldwell County Senior Center is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 1:30. Lunch from 11:30 to noon for meal reservations, or for more information on events or the meal delivery. 365-7446 is the number.
Now, if you've got a child interested in the upcoming spring 2020 outdoor soccer season and was born in years 2010, 2011, or 2012, now this tryout date is for you. The Pennyroyal Valley Strikers Select Team will hold open tryouts next Friday, February 14th, 10 a.m. at Trilogy Performance Sports in Princeton. For more information, you can call Cesar Tamaro, 270-339-0248.
Join Caldwell Medical Associates for ribbon cutting and open house. That's tomorrow, February 4th from 11 to 1. US 62 West in Princeton, introducing their newest clinic, CMA Orthopedics. You'll have a chance to see their new facility, meet their providers, enjoy a light reception, welcoming everyone. For more information, call 270-365-0321.
Well, there's going to be a certified private pesticide applicator training on Thursday, February 13th. I want to repeat that because this is one that a lot of farmers are going to want to attend. A certified private pesticide applicator training on Thursday, February 13th, 6 p.m., Caldwell County Extension Office. For more information, you can give them a call at the Extension Office at 365-2787.
Well, it's the Red Cross Blood Drive. That is coming up Thursday, February 6th. That's at Calvary Baptist Church, 121 Kentucky Avenue in Princeton. All you have to do is go through the front doors. The blood drive is located in the back of the gym back there. That's at 121 Kentucky Avenue, US 62 West in Princeton. Red Cross Blood Drive, February 6th, noon to 6 p.m.
Well, February is American Heart Month, and what better way to take a step towards a healthier heart than running or walking in a 5K? Now, the Heart and Soul 5K, sponsored by the Caldwell Medical Center Foundation, is going to take place on February 15th at Lee Jones Park in Annabelle. Registration for the event is going to take place at 7:30 a.m., and the race will begin at 8. Cost for the event is $25. All proceeds are going to go toward heart health awareness, and that's pretty important, Ty.
Very important, and no doubt about it. And don't forget, the last event here, the Northside Student Ministry is hosting a cornhole tournament. That's coming up Saturday, March 14th. This will be one of the fundraisers for their summer missions trip, MFuge. Registration $20 for a two-person team. If you're interested in competing, sign up on their website, Facebook, or call their interim youth minister, Zach East. There'll be cash prizes for the top 3 teams. And here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast. Partly cloudy skies today, a high around 69. Showers likely tonight, possibly a thunderstorm after midnight, low down to 55. Those showers continue tomorrow, a high 59, and then rain likely again on Wednesday. Cooler, more seasonal high of 42. Rain will starting to be moving out Thursday. Colder temperatures will be moving in, a high 39, and then a slight chance of snow after 2 a.m. Thursday night, low down to 29. Sunshine returns for Friday, a little cooler though, a high 41. Again for today, partly cloudy, pushing highs near 70. It's currently cloudy. It's 53 at 8:03 at WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Big John's Barbecue.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband. He lost weight. More important, cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend went and she lost 20 pounds in the first 2 months. So does Mark Patrick hypnosis work? Oh yeah, it works. Nothing has changed my life more. Well, except maybe my husband. He's so proud of me, makes me cry.
Oh my, a touching story. So what are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed for only $49.99. That's right. Weight loss seminar Tuesday, February 25th at the Wyndham Garden, formerly the Holiday Inn in Hopkinsville. Time is 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Registration begins at 5 p.m. Stop smoking seminar starts at 8 p.m. Registration starts 7:30 p.m.
Clarksville's Bridgestone Metalfa is a great place to work, but don't take my Clarksville's Bridgestone Metalfa is a great place to work, but don't take my word for it.
I'm Tyrone. I'm with Bridgestone Metalfa. I've been at Bridgestone for a total of 17 years. The reason I'm still there is dependable income, opportunities for overtime, awesome bonuses, excellent benefits, and a great working environment.
If you'd like to start a career at Bridgestone Metalfa, visit our website at metalfausa.com.
Nominate your cheerleader mom in the YourSportsEdge.com Sports Mom of the Month contest, presented by Joelle's Bakery and Cafe, GNC of Hopkinsville, and Save More Drugs.
Hey guys, Heidi with Capitol Cinemas, your local Princeton movie theater with your weekday lineup. In Cinema 1, Gretel and Hansel, PG-13. In Cinema 2, Doolittle, PG. And in Cinema 3, Bad Boys for Life, rated R. All three movies share the same showtimes of Monday through Thursday at 6:30. Call during showtime hours at 270-365-0200 or visit us at capitolcinemas.net. Thanks for listening. See you at the show.
Do the winter blues have you down? You're not alone. Seasonal depression affects many people. If you're experiencing periods of low energy, social withdrawal, hypersomnia, or other symptoms of depression, seek help at one of our licensed professionals. Call 1-877-667-7071 to schedule an appointment at one of our 8 convenient locations in Western Kentucky. At Health First, your health is our first concern.
1580 103.3 WPKY. Tess and Ty at 8:06 and Coffee Talk on the air. And Harrell Riley. Brother Harrell Riley is with us this morning for Coffee Talk. How about that?
Yes, morning.
I left the brother off at first. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just as long as you don't call me sister, we're in good shape.
No, we're all right. We're good. I'll tell you, what do you got going on? It's been the busiest few weeks. And I've also looked ahead and saw a couple of the things that you got going on.
Yes.
And one of them, I might try to wear overalls and sneak in because the men are going to have fun at that one.
Yeah, you're talking about the first one that we need to talk about, March the 7th. That is What's at Stake dinner.
That's the one.
First Baptist Church in Princeton, Kentucky. We have Real Momentum coming. That's Keith Boggs. He's a gentleman from down in Woodstock, Georgia. Real Momentum started about 5 years ago, and it's a men's ministry to challenge the folks of our community, of our churches, to step up and to raise the bar and lead the way that we ought to. Everything hinges and rises and falls off of the bar that's made by men. And we're doing this to challenge folks to understand what's at stake if we don't do that. So there'll be a steak dinner, baked potato, salad, desserts, all that kind of thing. This event in particular, we have had the privilege of getting a group called This Hope in. This Hope has been in Princeton once before with us, connected to HR Ministries, and they are a blessing. They're going to lead the worship time in that, but we'll start about 6 o'clock that evening. Have some opportunity for folks to fellowship, and then we're going to hit it hard. And I think folks will be pleased and encouraged by what they hear. This is a sponsorship deal. $20 for a steak dinner and everything else that's going on there is not too bad. But the purpose in that is to get people there. It covers everything that's going on, from the music to the process of what's happening with the gentleman coming in, taking care of them. So if you could reach out to other churches, be a part of that. It's a great thing to do. You can actually go on our Facebook invite to get your tickets. It's not hard to do. You can go in there, pay for the tickets. It registers everything, and it'll be a blessing for you to be a part of. So a couple of 3-hour event, including the meal, but a challenge for the heart and what's going on. So looking forward to that. It's $20 a plate, or if you want to sponsor a table, it's a discount for $150 for a table for 8. So
that ain't bad.
Challenge you to come be a part of that.
That sounds like fun. That's the one I said I wanted to sneak into.
Well, we do hope it is fun. We do hope it is a blessing to the community. I was telling Ty before we got on here, some of the folks that God's give us liberty to bring in, high caliber. I'm humbled to be connected to them and have an opportunity to bring them in, because there are folks all over the country trying to get them, and they're having trouble with schedules and everything else, and they have committed to coming to us one way or the other. So I believe God's at work here in West Kentucky trying to challenge men. And these folks, there's a group called Pastors in the Outdoors that Dennis Wilder's a part of. It's under the umbrella of Real Momentum. Some of those pastors come into this area on a regular basis, and we support and encourage them in what they're doing. And so we're praying that pastors, leaders, men in the church, dads, kids, this is for anybody 12 and up, so dads and kids can come, have a good time, and hear a very strong message of what we need to be doing. Oftentimes I think one of the reasons folks don't do what they're supposed to do is they're not really sure what to do. So when we get done with this, they'll have the education and the information they need to get out and do what God's called them to do as a man.
Well, and I think, I've heard of that particular organization as well, and I've heard wonderful things about that and what a great time it is. And I think sometimes, you say it's hard to get them in, and that's true, but the more people that we get in, the more used to, that circle of people will get used to coming through here, the easier it will get. And you say, yeah, I had a wonderful time when I went there. You ought to go there too. But the more interest we have, the easier it is to get those people in. And they're hard to get, by the way.
Yeah, the caliber of folks like this Hope being able to come do the music is phenomenal. They originally a family come out of Alaska. They're down in Georgia now. They do ministry all over the United States. They have worked with Real Momentum in the background on several occasions, as well as with Johnny Hunt and some other folks that you'll be hearing about here in a moment. So don't miss this opportunity. Talk to your men's group. Dads, grab your kids and bring them. We're in a season where it's pretty needful to pay attention to what's going on in the spiritual realm and our responsibilities as men, as fathers, as husbands, as leaders in the community. So I challenge you, even if you're not a member of a local church, come here. I promise you what you'll hear will challenge you in relation to your role and responsibility as a person in the job place. Your leadership in whatever organization you're in, it'll be beneficial to you. So come get you a steak dinner and come here and be hanging out with some other men that are going to have a good time.
Could you get? Can you come that night and not RSVP to get your event, or you have to have your ticket up front?
We'll probably make a few tables available for that. So yeah, we don't want anybody to miss out. We'll be prepared. Let me put it that way. So if you just get the itch that day, or you want to continue to bring somebody, I promise you, we've got some guys even that would probably give up their steak. Y'all listen to me. If extra folks came in. But if you've ever been around an event that I've been a part of, you're not going to run out of food. I promise you that, because here's the deal. I believe that you need to fellowship with folks, and that's one of the things about this. If you've ever been a part of a process or program where there's a group of men that come together, there's just something about the fellowship in that and the excitement about that. When I had the opportunity to be in Kansas City with about 18,000 men singing How Great Thou Art in the stadium, it just does something for your life. And so you can get in a room, hopefully we'll have about 300 folks there who've come together to worship, to learn, to be encouraged, to be challenged. There's an atmosphere there that you can't repeat in a basketball tournament, a football game, on the hunting field, those kind of things. Those are all well, but you can't reproduce that kind of atmosphere outside of a setting like that. So challenge you to come be a part of that.
I will say, I don't think women have any problem getting together and henpecking. And I mean that in the best way. I do. We're really good at getting together and finding a reason to get together and do things like that. I think men sometimes are hesitant. And I brotherhood and in different scenarios like that, I love to see them do that, because that's something that women do really well. I mean, we'll find any excuse to get together.
There's a busyness and a hard, based on the culture we live in and competition, other things that we've been taught to do. It's hard to drop your guard and be a part of something that you're not in control of, and that's why it's hard to get men together. So we're just challenging folks to come do that. Now, my heart as a minister, that's First Baptist doing that. Of course, I got more than one hat going on here today again, which is okay, but it's all for the sake of the kingdom. So, as I say that, there's another two things that are going on. I just ask those of you that are listening to pray. Our pastors and leaders are under the gun. For the last 4 years, HR Ministries and my family have had the opportunity to sponsor folks to go to a program called Timothy Barnabas. We reach out and encourage pastors and their wives to go. Right following this event, we will be taking about 8 pastors. We have some more opportunity to do that. So if you know a pastor that'd like 3 days down in Gatlinburg to be spoken into, encouraged, challenged, and blessed, would love to encourage them, because we all need some Barnabases, and our family and the ministry itself just desire to be sure that folks that are on the front line are encouraged, challenged, and blessed. And so there's some need in that. If you'd like to be a part of that or talk to me about that, whether that's to support a pastor going, or you're a pastor or your pastor needs to go, call me. We would like to plug in those folks and figure out how to get that done. So call the office, 270-365-6044. Be happy to talk to somebody about that because it's fantastic. I was stirring and stewing about that for about 7 years, never got to go. And my board finally said, do not schedule anything over the dates. So we went, and when I went, I was convicted it was going to be part of my responsibility to take other men and their families to that. And we've been well blessed in the past about 22, 24 pastors have been with us this year. I think there's 8 on the list. And listen, folks, pray for your pastor. Pray for your leaders. They need it. If you've ever dealt with other people and you've ever led, you know that it's a struggle. Well, just think if everybody was like you sitting in the pew, what the pastor has to deal with. Hello? Mm-hmm. So pray for your pastor and ask him if he'd be interested.
I think I'm pretty easy to deal with there at church there, Brother Riley. I don't know.
No, let's talk about that because you bring up an interesting point, and I've been involved with similar ministries in the past, but our pastors are under tremendous strain. They hear the woes of many. They're there when a loved one passes away. They're there when weddings take place. They're there at life events, and they're getting all this stuff. But yet, we just think they're supermen, and
they're human.
And they are. And so this is a wonderful way for pastors to sort of recharge, get re-energized, and to get, I guess, develop and learn how to cope with some of these measures.
I think recharge is a perfect word for that too, because you've got your teachers that all go, I joke about it, but even teachers and nurses and doctors and all of that, they kind of have their places that they go to in their workshops and that sort of thing to get together and kind of get updates and talk to one another and fellowship that way and get better. Well, I don't see any reason why pastors shouldn't have the same opportunity.
Well, pastors are responsible for spiritual nature of folks that are under them and their own life in front of a world, and they live in a fish tank, and so it's hard. And to be honest with you, if a pastor was asked to become the president of the United States, that'd be a step down in responsibility. And pastors have much to deal with and challenge. So I just challenge pastors that listen. If you want to talk about it, call me. And if you've got a pastor you'd like to sponsor or you'd like to just help us with that process, let us know, because it's a huge blessing to them. It's a huge blessing to watch what God does in their life and the fellowship that they have and the support they have. Because unfortunately, pastors become islands to themselves. And whether we realize or not, we need support, encouragement, and we need challenge. If you ever quit learning, then you're not getting anywhere. And so it's educational, it's encouragement, it's a challenge, it's a blessing. So
is that youth pastors too?
We can work on them. Yes, that'd be good. If they've got one that would be interested, I'd be happy to sponsor. Anybody that's leading in the church in that fashion, as far as staff, needs to be challenged and encouraged. So yes.
Wow. So
I think it's a great idea. That's what I think.
I didn't come up with it. God did.
Well, there you go.
So not only that event, then you have coming up in
for many years. He is now with the North American Mission Board, but he has influenced, impacted, and challenged pastors from all over. The sun never sets on their ministry, meaning they have something across the globe everywhere that's going on every day at all times in relation to the ministry and the gospel. He's been a mentor to many and challenged many. In fact, Dallas White's going to be with him. He's new pastor at the Grove down in Georgia as well. But we brought them in because there's a need, as I said just a moment ago, for folks to be challenged, encouraged with what's going on. So this is a church of men's leadership. We're not trying to leave the ladies out, but I'm just going to go back to what I said. One of the reasons we have much of the problem in the culture we have today is it's time for men to step up. If we're going to face all these cultural issues and circumstances, it starts with the home, it starts with the family, it starts with the leadership in the church. And those men need to step up to the plate. So we brought in, I'll just call him the guru. He's a fantastic dude. He will bend your heart. He will speak into what's going on. I promise you'll be challenged. But Johnny Hunt comes with much information, much background in leadership and challenging, and he's just got a spirit that he's one of those kind of guys you just want to be around. I don't know if you've ever met one of those folks, but he can walk in the room and change the atmosphere like that. He's one of those kind of guys that if you have an opportunity, is within 100 miles of you, you ought to get in the car and go find him. So here's the deal. He's coming to Princeton, Kentucky. It usually takes you about 3 years to get him on the schedule. In less than 7 months, God's placed this deal in front of us. It's all free, absolutely free. We're going to have a soup dinner. One of the biggest things is it's a Friday night. He's going to speak. Dallas is going to speak. We're going to talk about leadership. We're going to talk about discipleship. We're going to challenge folks with what's going on the next morning. Listen, they're busy folks. He's going to fly out of here from Nashville down to Atlanta, get back on a plane, and go overseas. I want you to understand that's the kind of commitment he's got to being in Princeton, Kentucky. So at lunchtime, as soon as we get done with the Q&A, I'm going to give 50 pastors the liberty to sit in front of him and listen for a few moments and ask a few questions to impact their ministries. We're going to give them all a book that he's just got through writing. It's going to be absolutely free to them. And if pastors and leaders don't take the opportunity, let me just say this, and I don't mind to be a little ugly about this, shame on you, because he's coming. It's an opportunity. Don't miss out on it.
When you say pastors and leaders, you mean elders and deacons of churches such as that?
Yes. In particular, here's the deal. We have the Jason Loving Band will be doing the worship for this one. We're going to be cranking up some stuff. And I promise you, in relation to Lazarus getting raised from the grave, there's a lot of folks out there that are saved sitting in our pews and they're still wrapped in grave clothes. And the Lord told us to loose them and let them go. Well, we want to see some folks unleashed for whatever God's got purpose for their life. It'll come through the education and the instruction from these men that are coming. And I challenge you, get your church group together. Bring 30. We're praying for, planning for, hoping for at least 500 men to come in that building to be excited to go out here and mess up Western Kentucky. If God's people will get in order with what he wants to do under the instruction of the gospel, under the instruction of the word, and be challenged to go out there and do. Be ye doers of the word and not hearers only. We do a good job of sitting around and soaking up stuff, but it's time to get out and go do something and unleash God's power and God's presence in this community, because it's messed up, folks. There's dope heads everywhere. There's alcoholics everywhere. There's sexual depravity and all kinds of stuff. The only thing that's going to fix that is the home and men and the men of the church stepping up to the plate to do what God wants them to do, and it'll change neighborhoods, it'll change the school system, it'll change the government, it'll change your church house, it'll change you. But if you don't want to get around it, it ain't going to happen. So I'm begging you, challenging you. I'll drag you down there if we need to. Come on the 3rd and 4th, be a part of Unleashed, because you don't want to miss what God's doing with the dude named Johnny Hunt and Dallas White. Listen, it's better than the Super Bowl. I don't care what anybody says. This dude, in spiritual relation to getting to hear people and what God's done with anointed folks, it would be like you missing out on the opportunity to get free tickets to the Super Bowl.
Well,
there you go.
If they don't think they're going to enjoy it, they at least need to come so they'll know what to fuss about. And I bet that way they'll have a great time.
Amen. They'll do it anyway.
And that's what I'm saying.
I'm just kidding.
Is it multi-denominational?
I don't know nothing about denominations. That's money.
There you
I'm
go.
talking about Jesus and what he wants to do with people's lives.
So
That's a great answer.
So this is sponsored by First Southern National Banks, one of your main sponsors. And
yeah, they're sponsoring the lunch for the pastors,
okay.
And then HR Ministries is taking care of the rest of the shindig.
So give us a little bit more background here on Johnny Hunt. You said
he
said superstar. You're talking about a superstar. Give us a little background about Johnny Hunt and what he's actually bringing to the table.
He's been president of the Southern Baptist Convention. He took a church that was running about 250. They'd been split when he got there, raised it up. They run about 6,000 to 7,000 every Sunday. He's for the last 26 years, he's done a men's conference called Johnny Hunt's Men's Conference that'll have about 7,000 to 8,000 people show up at it. He does the Timothy Barnabas Conference that impacts thousands of pastors and leaders in churches across the United States. He's done the Deacon I Want to Be, an educational program for churches to encourage and instruct their deacons on how to deek, meaning to serve. And that's impacted probably somewhere around 15,000 plus churches. I mentioned a moment ago his ministry, the ministry that God's given him to lead out in. The sun never sets on it. He was raised up in a home of craziness with alcoholism and other stuff. He was a pool shark in the pits of hell. God raised him up as a Indian out of that, saved him. Used to race cars guitars and all kinds of stuff. And from that, called him into ministry, and God's just used him to prosper and encourage the gospel and the kingdom all over. And if you ever get to hear him preach and those kind of things, I promise you'll be blessed. He's a man. He puts his pants on just like we do. But here's what I would say to you, and we've missed this in our culture sometimes. God uses specific people for a reason, and God anoints men to bless and encourage and challenge. He walks the walk, he talks the talk, and he knows what he's doing. And I promise you'll be blessed by hearing him. That's the deal right there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just Tori chimed in there just as a quick announcement as we're doing this. Don't forget SummerSlam's coming. We're working on that bad boy right now. And
I just started to say Winter Slam just wrapped up, right?
Yeah. SummerSlam, here's the deal. We've changed the date to July the 18th, so put it on your calendars and be ready. It's a week earlier. We want to keep from overlapping some of the other things going on in the community and the culture, so we're going to try to do that. We got folks from Alabama and all over coming in again. Tori's been doing his thing, and we got some announcements that are close,
but not quite.
But we're going to need some folks to help sponsor that again. So get on board. Again, we're praying. I've already contacted a speaker. I don't know if he's going to be able to get her done, but he's another one that's he's a little wiry and a little crazy. And I think folks will enjoy him if he gets here. I'm not going to announce it till he pulls the trigger and says yes.
They need to be a little bit different than what we hear every day, though, don't they? I mean, when you say a little wiry, I mean,
some people have the privilege of hearing them every day. Can you imagine going to a church like Johnny Hunt, 7,000 every Sunday morning? You hear the same hello?
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And really, I'm not sure the magnitude of having a guy like Johnny Hunt in Princeton, like you mentioned it. You prefaced it, you told us about it, but I don't think we realize how incredible that really is.
Well, and it's just because God's doing a work. I believe God wants to change the culture around here through the power of the gospel and what he wants to do with people getting in the Word. Here's the deal. He's just a man. He's just like you and I, but God uses folks to impact us. Now, if we don't want to be impacted, stay at home. But if you want something to change, you want some info, you want to be encouraged, and you want to face this world with a new charge in your life, I challenge you, come 3rd and 4th, bring you young men from your church, be prepared. We're praying that revival takes place in West Kentucky. We're praying that something would happen around here where the humdrum, the ho-hum of just good people going to church looking at one another is over, and the power of God shows up in such a fashion again that it messes up West Kentucky.
Well, so when they go to church on Sunday, they can kind of get together, and say, look, do we want to go, and who all wants to go, kind of get together with it. Is there a deadline? What's kind of the deadline?
Not on this one. You just show up. Listen, we'll get more chairs out. We'll do whatever we got to do.
And at 11:15 the second day,
50 pastors
get to have lunch with Johnny.
We'll have an invite on Facebook in a couple of weeks. The first 50 pastors that sign up for that, we're going to pay for their lunch. We're going to give them a book, and they're going to have a face-to-face with Brother Johnny Hunt.
Question, ask him about
Q&A, whatever they want to do. And he'll spend a few minutes, and then, like I said, he's hard to grab a hold of, and he's hard to get, but God's brought him here, and he'll get in the car, leave from here, get on a plane, land back in Atlanta, swap luggage, and fly right back out across the big pond to wherever else he's going to do ministry.
Well, and hopefully once we get these people once, if you ever get them on the line once, it's
well,
easier.
To be honest with you, I believe for Princeton, Kentucky, and this could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and event. I don't know that we'll ever be able to get him back on the hook simply because of his schedule and what's going on. It's a God thing. It came over a lunch meal with him in Dallas. I had the privilege, and I am humbled on a regular basis of the people that God gives me the privilege and liberty to hang out with and to talk to. And I have a burden for the men here, have a burden for our pastors here. And I just asked him, I said, what does that look like? How, I can't drag every preacher and every man down here to Atlanta. I can't drag them all to Gatlinburg. So what would it look like if I could gather 500 of them in front of you? He said, pull the trigger. So he's coming.
Wow.
So
there you go.
This event
and by faith, we pulled the trigger, and we're coming up with the funds, and the Lord will take care of it. So there's one of them preachers
Pastor
right now.
Dave out there just giving you the thumbs up. Again, this event is called Unleashed, Breaking Free to Next, April 3rd and 4th. And that's a church and men's leadership event presented by HR Ministries. And a couple of power-packed days here that we might not see again.
Yeah, get a chance to go on YouTube and look up Jason Loving Band. They'll be leading the worship for that. You know, before that, the precursor to this is First Baptist has pulled the trigger on Real Momentum. Here's the deal, and it's kind of crazy for those of you who kind of line up with what God does and how he pulls things together. Real Momentum, Keith Boggs, is the men's minister of First Baptist Church Woodstock. He is one of Johnny Hunt's right-hand men, so to speak. And so every Wednesday, they have about 1,000 men who join every Wednesday night for their Wednesday night men's study. And so they're speaking into those folks. He's going to come bring that information. That's March the 7th at First Baptist. That's the What's at Stake dinner. Get your church-sponsored table. Bring 8 folks, $150. Come get encouraged, go back, get excited, grab a hold of more men, bring them to this. At the same time, pastors, you're out there, you're thinking, you're doing. If you're struggling, holler at me. I'd like to take you to Timothy Barnabas. I've got some privilege in that. I don't know how many more I can get on board, but I'm just going to trust the Lord and ask that he take care of that business for us. If you get a chance, go on YouTube, type in Johnny Hunt and his testimony. He won't share his testimony at this, I don't think, other than just a few blips, but you'll kind of get an idea of the man that's coming to hear what's going on. And just continue to pray for HR Ministries. Pray for the ministry before us. We've got several things happening. We're just starting in Marshall County, starting March the 1st there with new classes there. We just started ladies over in Hopkins County. I'm getting calls for different events and opportunities, and so it's pretty busy. Pray for one another, and we're always grateful to be on WPKY, giving us the liberty to get the info out there. So I thank you guys, because you all are part of the kingdom as we do that. And I think Tori was not listening or wanted me to be sure, confirming the April 3rd and 4th date for the Unleashed. So be mindful of that. There's somebody right there down in Georgia listening to us right now, Miss Julie Cook, who's at Jonesboro. Again, Princeton, don't miss this. Sometimes we have an opportunity. Miss Julie Cook was from Jonesboro First Baptist. That is the church that our family from Chick-fil-A goes to.
That's right, from outside of Atlanta, isn't
it? Yep, that's the church that the folks from Days Inn go to, and that's the church that Henry Blackaby and his family all participate in, his son lead. They have been up here twice with us to participate in ministry on the field out here in this area. If you've never heard Henry Blackaby speak, he no longer can speak because of some health issues, but here's the deal. When God is working and God's using people, get around them. I was told a long time ago by my granddaddy and Brother Ronnie Sevels, every once in a while you need to get where the fountain is spewing, where the Holy Spirit's working. That means you might want to take off from work. That means you might want to take a vacation day to do it. You got to put yourself in right position. And there's only certain times in our life that we can be around people that are anointed in that kind of fashion. And I know that word scares some folks off. Well, I can just say this. You're going to have to get over that, because here's the reality. God does lay his hand on particular people for a season. When that's happening, the best thing you can do is get around them and be blessed, because that's the power of God. Johnny Hunt, Keith Boggs, all these folks that are coming, I promise you this, you can see the evidence of God in their life and on them. Do not miss it. March the 7th, What's at Stake dinner, April 3rd and 4th, Unleashed. Come see us.
Put your seatbelt on.
Put your seatbelt on.
Enjoy the ride.
God's going to do something.
That's awesome.
Might as well get in on it.
Brother.
Well, thank you. We sure do appreciate it, though,
Harrell,
because you guys always bring a lot of great stuff to our area.
Well, you know, I ain't bringing nothing. I'm just responding to what God's doing. That's one thing that again, when I say I'm humbled, it's an exciting ride. I told the kids out there at the school last Friday in FCA, life sometimes, there's some folks from the Carolinas, life sometimes is like when you're following God. It's like, y'all remember the cannonball at Opryland?
Yes,
I always waited till I always waited till the end of the evening to get on that. At the first, people would line up, stay in 2 hours. But if you wait right before closing time, everybody's headed out the front gate. Nobody cares.
Got it all yourself.
There ain't no line. Yeah. So we would go, and life with Jesus is kind of like that. You get in line, and you sit down, and they lock you in. And that thing takes off, and you don't know exactly what's going to happen, but you click up the hill, you throw your hands in there, you go down, hit a curve, go back up a hill, spin around, come back, and then when that little lady's there, if there ain't nobody else in line, she say, "You want to go again?" And you go, Yes, go.
That was one of our favorites, too.
So here's the deal. Get in on what God's doing. Strap in. Let him take you on the ride of your life. And I have no reason. Listen, I have no credentials. I don't have anything other than Jesus. And God puts these people in our path. And when we respond to what he's doing, God will bless it. I am blown away that I have the privilege living in Princeton, Kentucky, doing what I do, to be connected to these kind of folks that'll come in here that could impact us in such a fashion that change us for an eternity. Come be a part of it.
Fantastic.
Well, you don't want to wait till it's over, and you didn't.
That's exactly right. Brother Harrell Riley, HR Ministries, First Baptist Church. Again, tell us how they contact, check out all the stuff going on at HR Ministries, please.
Well, if you want to volunteer, get connected, the quickest way is call the office at 270-365-6044. You can go on Facebook. Matter of fact, we're live right now. You can click on there and get some information to get connected with some applications, those kind of things. And you can always go to our website, hrministries.net. All the info's there, videos and other stuff. Now, to register for the What's at Stake dinner, go on Facebook. First Baptist has an invite page there. Go on there, all the information in the background for Real Momentum. You click in there, pay your fee, everything's done, tickets are sent to you. You're good to go. Or contact myself or Tori Hammett, who is helping lead that up, and you can be a part of that in that fashion. So that's how you get connected. March the 7th, What's at Stake dinner. Don't miss it. April 3rd and 4th is Unleashed. Don't miss it. Here's the deal. We're looking forward to July the 18th, SummerSlam. More info to come, and I promise I'll try to get back on the radio to let you know what's happening. Tess and Ty in the morning. It's a fantastic place to be. Even if you don't have something going on, come by and see them. And here's what I do know. They like a little coffee. This is Coffee Talk, so I brought them a couple of cups this morning.
We love seeing it.
But even if you don't have anything else to do or say, stop by, grab them a cup of coffee, and drop it off here, and thank them for getting the info out there. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to do some of the things they do, and we're grateful for this radio station and those that own it that are willing. Sunday mornings we're on the radio here preaching the gospel. Secular radio. Some places look at you like you got two heads if you ask that, but this place is allowing it to happen. Support your local business. Amen. Support the local people and be a part of what God's doing. Let's flip West Kentucky upside down for Jesus. Change some things, because that, my friends, is what God would have us to do.
Well, and Tori's always got something going on with the youth over there as well. If this doesn't trip your trigger, then maybe Tori's got something going on for the kids over there at First Baptist Church. And you say, I'm kind of a senior citizen. I can't travel as much. Oh, wait a minute. George Kilcore will fix that up for you, too.
He's got something going this, let's see.
They're going to Hershey, Pennsylvania as their big trip.
Yeah. He better bring me back some chocolate, too. But anyway, there is a senior luncheon on the 16th of February. So, and they just got back from seeing somebody else sing. So
I'll tell you, they're having
I'm not a senior, but let me tell you something. They move. Let me tell you. I went with them to the state fair, got off the bus, and I was going to, be, I guess you say, pastoral and go hang out with this group and that group. Dude, they got off the front of the bus, and it looked like a covey of quail scattering. Them folks had canes and stuff getting it. I'm telling you, I couldn't even catch up with them. So if you want some excitement in your life, that's a good place to go. There's Moochie Coleman, Brad Moochie Coleman. He's down in middle Louisiana doing ministry with cowboy churches and all kind of stuff. And there's folks from all over listening in today, and we pray that we can get some more of those folks up here for what's going on.
Hey, we appreciate it so much. And he always brings us coffee, and I'll tell you, I love seeing him coming.
We can't have enough of that.
I know.
Harold Riley, HR Ministries, First Baptist Church, thank you so much for informing us. And again, those events coming up, we'll be informing you on our community calendar, of course, for those events, big events. Of course, on March 17th, it's the stake
March 7th.
It's the
what's the stake dinner?
The stake dinner, and then of course Unleashed coming up on April 3rd and 4th. In Princeton. Brother Harrell Riley, thanks for being here.
Well, and I'll tell you, it's so much to keep up with, and that's why they got all of their events right there online, and it's really easy to grab a hold of and get your tickets and figure out what you want to do and plan your weeks and things in advance, which a lot of us need to do for work, so it's really easy to do that as well. If you're a lady, there's plenty of stuff there for you. If you're a senior citizen, if you're a guy, if you're a youth, whatever. So it's First Baptist Church and H&R Ministries right here from Caldwell County in Princeton, Kentucky. For Tess and Ty, hang on. Coffee Talk is still on the air. 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz is the place to shop for delicious homemade goodness. Hancock's makes their own fresh chicken salad, pimento cheese, salads, and a variety of mouthwatering desserts, sure to please your entire family. While at Hancock's, be sure to visit their meat department for the best selection of USDA choice meats in the area. Hancock's Neighborhood Market in Cadiz, hometown homemade goodness, and the Hancock name you know and trust for quality for your family. Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz.
Shop local, buy local, save big deals.
Imagine if there were a place you could go to buy gift certificates to some of the best businesses in town. Now, imagine all those great gift certificates priced 30, 35, 40%, and at times over 60% or more off retail every day of the week. The Loyal Listener Big Deal Store is online and waiting for you to shop and buy gift certificates to local businesses. Go to WPKYonline.com.
And here's your WPKY Weather Center forecast for today. Partly cloudy skies, a high pushing 70. We're going to be up near 69. Then showers likely, possibly a thunderstorm after midnight, low of 55. Showers continue tomorrow, a high 59. And then rain in the afternoon Wednesday, turning cooler, high 42. Rain starting to move out Thursday. Colder temps moving in, a high 39. And a slight chance of snow, believe it or not, after 2 a.m. Thursday night, a low 29. Sunshine returns for Friday, a high of 41. Currently, we've got, let's call them mostly cloudy, and 54 at WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Fredonia Valley Bank.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Tarkett, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
There's a lot going on right now, and broadcasters are on the ground covering all of it, bringing you the weather, the traffic, and breaking news, all while entertaining you 24 hours a day. Someone needs to tell you what's going on around the world and in our hometowns, and that someone is us. We are free radio. We are always there. We are broadcasters. Visit wearebroadcasters.com or text radio to 52886 to learn more. Furnished by NAB and this station.
1580 103.3 WPKY. Tess and Ty at 842, and I love it when we got a house full.
I love house full.
And Ty, we had this one that come in that I recognized, and doggone if she didn't have the same smile on her face when she walked in, grinning from ear to ear. Who have we got over there, Ty?
Okay, we have advisor. I'm gonna say advisor. It's junior class advisor JJ Griggs and a whole cast and crew of juniors, and we are talking about the junior class fundraiser. It's usually pretty cool, Tess, and it's a murder mystery that they usually put on. Of course, helping to raise money for the prom is the main thing, I do believe, but it's always entertaining, and the kids are actively involved in getting this thing up and going. And we're going to start off this morning with class president of the junior class, Sam Teutsch, and he's going to tell us a little bit about this event, and then we'll let everybody introduce themselves as we go around.
All right, we're having a dinner theater on February 22nd at 6 at the high school to raise money for the prom and senior class expenses.
Well, does somebody want to explain what a dinner theater is?
So a dinner theater is something...
Wait, who are you? What's your name?
I'm sorry, I'm John Prades. I'm a class rep.
There we go. That's right.
But the dinner theater is something you eat, because we're giving you dinner pretty much. We're going to be having, pork chops, green beans, mashed potatoes, and dessert. And they're going to vary from everything. Cookies, cakes, you name it, we probably have it at some point or another.
Well, if there's pork chops involved, it can't be bad.
Pork tenderloin, actually, but it's close enough.
There you go.
Mr. Brown cooking this year?
Mr. Brown has been strong-armed into cooking again, yes.
But that's the dinner part of it. Then we have the theater part, which is something new, and it changes every year. It's going to be a murder mystery. We know that. And also, what's the theme?
It's based on, somebody talk about what the theme is. This is Jordan Hammond. He's the secretary of the junior class.
The name of the show is Bumped Off Bourbon Street. So, as you can imagine, it'll be themed themed around Bourbon Street and
Mardi Gras, New Orleans.
And so it'll be quite the show.
Quite the show. Market House Theater in Paducah is in charge of the show, and they do a great job every year. And we've actually already had some people from Paducah calling to order tickets because their friends or family are in the show. So that's kind of cool. Who else wants to talk? Well, tell them why we're raising the money. Who wants to take that on? All right, Kendall Prowl. She's a class representative.
We're raising money for prom and other opportunities for our class, such as our senior trip and other trips we have next year.
Have you chosen a theme for prom yet?
Yes, it's going to be a Derby theme since prom is my second.
Oh.
Prom's on Derby Day, so we're going
That'll
with the
be
Derby
fun.
theme, so that'll be pretty cool.
So the entire purpose of the actual dinner theater is just to make it cheaper on parents, so they're not shelling out too much just for senior trip as well as the prom tickets, pictures, everything else. If we can get enough money raised, Mama and Daddy might not have to pay for anything.
That's right. That's exactly right, John Thomas.
Control.
That's right. That's good. Well, that's exactly right. Everybody's always like, well, why do you need that much money? Because the goal is to raise, we raised our goal a little bit higher than everyone else, but we need to raise $10,000. Everybody's like, you spend $10,000 on prom? No. We do not spend near that. We might spend maybe 1/10 of that on prom. The rest of it goes to senior expenses the next year because they do have things they have to pay for as a class for graduation and stuff. And then the senior class trip is very expensive. Even just going to Holiday World with that many kids, we don't want them to have to pay a dime to go because we want everybody to go. We like to give them a T-shirt. We don't want any of that to cost them any money their senior year, and so that adds up pretty quick, and it takes about $10,000 to get all that done.
Well, and to be honest, there are some kids out there that to do one of those things really puts a burden on a household.
Sure.
But when you include an entire year's worth of stuff, I mean that's a lot of money.
Right.
And for some parents,
senior year is
can't
very
handle it.
expensive on people because you've got your cap and gown, you've got your invitations, you've got all this extra stuff that people don't really expect, and so we don't want to ask one more thing for them to have to do, especially when it's to go have fun, when we have the capabilities of hopefully raising that money themselves. So, and then they are working for it. It's not, they're going to be, tell them what the juniors will be in charge of doing that evening, Abby.
We will be serving you, being the waitresses, and that's about it.
All junior parents, if you ever wanted your kid to wait on you, you need to buy a ticket to come to the theater. But this is a great junior class. We've got a ton of them signed up to help work. We had a parent meeting. The parents are out selling tickets, and they're getting donations for the silent auction. There's a silent auction that goes on at the same time. Does anyone want to cover that? Tripp, would you like to cover that?
Yes. There will also be a silent auction. There, a bunch of donated items will be up for a bid, and they pretty cool. So check that out.
Good deal.
That silent auction's always great. And are you still needing silent auction items?
We are. We've gotten a list. The parents signed up for some things, and then I've got the kids on some other ones trying to get donations. So if you've got a business out there and you haven't been contacted, you can contact me at the high school, 365-8010. We'll be glad to get with you. It's a good way. We sell... Our goal is to sell 250 tickets. If we have all those people, plus the people working the dinner theater, there's almost 300 people there to see your products, to see what you have on, possible at your store or business or whatever it might be, to get your name out there. So it's a good opportunity for a business to promote themselves.
No doubt about it. Now, JC, was it $20 per ticket, and you've got some more information about it as well?
$20 a pay. $20 a ticket.
Okay.
To reserve a whole table. For a. You can reserve a whole table of people. Oh, you can reserve a whole table of people.
Okay, what's the tables hold? They hold 8 or 10?
8 to 10.
Okay.
Tell them and go over what they get again for the $20, the meal.
So you can have pork tenderloin, potatoes, green beans, salad, and dessert.
Wow.
Right. Desserts are going to be, most of them are going to be homemade. We've got some. The junior parents will be sending those in, and they should be really good. And it's been really successful. I guess they've had it since, I know they started in 2015, having it back again. So it's been 4 or 5 years in a row, and it's always really a good evening. It's fun. It's something different to do in Princeton that you can't do every weekend.
No, and what is our date?
February 22nd.
February 22nd. So that's a great date night.
Definitely.
To head out. You get dinner, you get great entertainment, you get a silent auction, And you get to help the junior class.
Exactly. I mean, you could give your significant other a couple tickets for Valentine's Day, and then that next weekend you can go out along with flowers, of course, for Valentine's Day. But you could definitely give your date a couple tickets along with their flowers, and that's something for you to do the next weekend.
I wonder why you mentioned flowers.
I don't know, but I just think it's a great idea.
That's a good idea.
Well, and if somebody hasn't been to a dinner theater and you want, it's a neat thing to go
It
to.
is. It's fun.
It's different, and it's not something you're going to do every day,
Right.
and it's not something that's around here to do every day.
Exactly. You'd have to go to at least Paducah to get the show, and when they put it on at Market House, you don't get a dinner with it, so it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, in years past, they have a little bit of audience participation in the dinner theater. We anticipate that?
As far as I know, that's still a thing. Your table comes together at the end, and you talk about who you think. It's a murder mystery. You try to figure out who done it, as they say, and you try to figure that out. And if your table figures it out, then you can have the possibility of possibly winning some prizes, and it'll just be fun. Yeah.
It's a whole lot of fun, and it's for a great cause. It's for our kids here in our community, so I don't think you can get any better than that. And the parents.
Yeah.
I mean, we could say that it's for the parents, and then we're going to mask it as for the kids, right?
Definitely.
What have we not covered about this wonderful evening here in Princeton on February the 22nd?
Anybody have anything else to add? Some of y'all were very quiet.
How can we get our tickets? Again.
How can they get tickets?
If you're interested in purchasing a ticket, you can call 270-365-8010, or if you see JJ Griggs or any junior class parent, you can just come up to them and ask them about it.
That's right. We got a lot of junior class parents. We had a great turnout for the meeting. We've got a lot of parents out there with tickets in hand right now. You can get from them. You can call the high school. We've even got enough time. If you mail me a check, I can mail you your tickets. We got enough time for that to take place. So just give me a call at the high school. We can take care of your tickets for you. It's not a problem. Like I said, the goal is 250 people. So hopefully we'll meet that goal.
That is fantastic.
I had a feeling he would probably be not as shy. I think he's used to us sticking a mic in his face a little bit.
Well, he knows a little bit more about the game that just took place.
Well, are you needing volunteers? I mean, do you have enough people, enough hands, enough whatever?
We've got a ton. Like I said, the juniors are going to be the ones that are going to be serving. They're going to be seating people. They're going to be serving the meal. We've got parents in charge to help in the back in the cafeteria of doling out the food and all that, and then we've got some parents in charge of the silent auction, so that'll be great. And then of course we'll have it decorated, and it'll look like a Mardi Gras theme kind of deal when you come in the cafeteria. It won't be. Well, you're not just going to walk into the high school cafeteria. It'll look a little different. For
not going to get much more for your money. I will tell you that.
It's been a great partnership with the Market House Theater, because this is this is an event now that's gone on for several years.
Mm-hmm,
and,
definitely,
it's a great partnership and always entertaining.
It's really a good evening. We've got, we get most of the things that we serve. We have some businesses that'll come in and pay for that, and so we try to keep our expenses down. We do pay Market House Theater for coming, but we try to keep the expenses down so the kids can keep most of the money. But it's a good evening. It's fun for them. They kind of learn some what it takes to be a server, and that sometimes is an eye-opening experience as well for them. But we've got a lot of kids signed up to help, and hopefully they will show up to help, and I think they will. And so they're going to be working for it as well. It's a little bit better to try to do one big thing than have them have to go out every other week trying to sell candles or cookie dough or this or that. And it's something that, you get a little bit more for your $20 than,
Well, and the parents, as far as us being, asked 255 times a year. I mean, this is nice, and it's something different that, when we do give, it's something different, and we get to enjoy something as well. So, I mean, everybody's
we have a couple tables every year that are all the same. They, they don't have a connection to the junior class or even to the high school, but people in the community who know that it's a fun evening, and they come every year, and so we've already got a couple of those tables reserved, so that's a good thing.
Give us that number again.
The high school number is 270-365-8010, and they'll put you through to me, or you can pop out to the high school anytime, and we can send tickets to the office for you to purchase.
Junior class, we appreciate it.
Thank you
How about
all
that?
so much. Yeah, and it's going to be a fun night.
Yes, it will. You can tell it's Monday morning. They're a little.
Okay.
They're a little.
You know,
quiet
that's what
this
I said
morning.
earlier. I said I've been dyslexic this morning. Harrell Riley brought me coffee, and all of a sudden I feel better. So I mean,
Okay, let's go around here one more time. Tell everybody who everybody is. Throw your name out there.
Abby Griggs.
John Paredes.
Sam Toich.
Jordan Hammett. Trent Branch.
JC Jaggers.
Kendall Prowl. And also, we're selling yearbooks at the high school for $60 if you would like to purchase one.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Good job,
Have
Kendall.
a fabulous day.
Way to get
Love
that out
girl.
there. Yearbooks are, that is a good topic, actually. We've ordered.
She's going to have this job one of these
like
days.
it,
It's
like
that
it.
one right there.
Well, you know, it's the same kids on all the committees. But anyway, that is a good point. We ordered 100 less yearbooks, 25% less this year because sales had been down. So if your kid wants one this year, they better get one. There's not going to be any extras.
There you go.
And
I like
of
that.
course, you lead that. You're the yearbook
I
advisor
do,
and have been
yes,
for years.
yes.
But the
She's the
cost of putting that
advisor.
together has increased year after
Right.
year.
And, you know, and everybody, the kids are always like, why is it so expensive to buy a yearbook? Well, it's this year's 208 pages, 208 full color pages in a hardback book.
Yeah.
You can't really get that anywhere. And you know, we have to pay to get those printed, so we have to pay like $15,000 to get the yearbook. So we have to make that money up somehow.
See, what you tell them is, can you really put a price on priceless memories of
No,
your
and they don't
friends
understand
and
what it's going to mean to them later. Of course, everything right now is so immediate. They want that immediate response from
Right.
something. But I think they've gotten into it the past couple of years a little bit more of actually signing the yearbook. That had kind of gotten away from, you know, their traditions. And I
Oh,
think
trust me, you're going to want to look back
We've
someday
brought
and
that
read
back
those.
a little bit, and they take a little bit more time in signing everyone's yearbook, and it's a fun experience. And you know, there's a lot of kids that go through the whole 4 years and they don't buy a yearbook, and that kind of breaks my heart. Of course, it's because I spend so much time on it. It was why it breaks my heart. But we have some left over too. If your kid missed getting one last year and the year before, we have a few extras. So just contact us at the high school.
Fantastic. Thank you all very much. We've got the junior class here. It is,
A little bit of everything.
It is what is the title again?
Bumped
Off
Off
on Bourbon Street. And that is February 22nd, 6 o'clock at the CCHS cafeteria. Tickets and info 365-8010. So thank you all very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for coming out. It's been a good excuse to get out of school for a little bit, though. Not too bad. Hey, it is 8:56 with Tess and Ty and Coffee Talk and all kinds of wrestlers and basketball players and volleyball players. Man, they're all over the place. So go out and support these guys and gals because they really do work hard all year long for this sort of thing. And again, Bumped Off Bourbon and 365-8010. Of course, Miss JJ Griggs, we want to thank her too.
Definitely.
She works so hard with our kids all year long and every year.
That's a fun night, though. It really
yes.
is. And a lot of work goes into it. A lot of folks come together and
Oh,
make it
yeah.
happen. And great fundraiser for that class.
Great Valentine's Day. That's
Know
just
it.
one of those things that you don't see every day.
No.
And the fact that it helps the kids at the same time. That's what I love about that.
No doubt about it.
I've never seen them all so quiet all at one time.
Well, they're
adorable.
That's a great class there, and a lot of leaders there, and a lot of laughs. And I know it's going to be a great night, and they'll have a great time waiting on the public and getting this presentation.
I wish we could turn the camera around so that everybody could watch them try to pile into a vehicle.
It's like a Chinese fire grill.
It's a clown car. You know those clown cars where there's 20 clowns that like fall out of the car when they open the door?
Miss Griggs just turned around and went. Oh, they're a delight. Love them all. That's great. They're there. Goodbye. We get waves and smile.
I love it when the kids come in. I
love it.
I love it when the kids come in. And, of course, we get to see them at their sporting events and that sort of thing. But it's not the same because they get to come in and talk. And
we have juniors in that class.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, you and I both do. So.
Well, I've got a sophomore.
Yeah, okay. I don't know why I thought your daughter was my daughter's age.
I think they're about the same age, but they're in different classes because Abby's birthday is right there in the middle of the year during the summer.
I thought for some reason
she was right there on the fringe.
So, yeah.
But hey, yeah, I've got a sophomore and getting ready to be a junior. So we're getting old.
You'll get to play next year.
But thanks for reminding me that I'm old. It's not that I didn't tell you that I was struggling with that earlier today or anything.
Because this is your birthday month, right?
It's my birthday month. I'm not going to say what day it is this year, but it's my month. Hey, when you've got gorgeous kids that go to a great school and this is the kind of stuff that's going on, life is good.
That is
How about
exactly
that?
right.
Hey, you want to hear a good forecast?
I am excited. We want to thank Brother Harrell Riley for being here, and
Yes.
of course, J.J. Griggs and the junior class representatives for Coffee Talk today.
Thankful and blessed are the two words for the day. It is 8:59. Let's check on the sunshine. Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast. Partly cloudy, high 69. Showers likely tonight, possibly thunderstorm after midnight. Overnight low 55. You're supposed to be doing this. I jumped right on it. Here, jump right in there.
me to
Oh,
say?
that's the wrong one. Sorry. There
What do you
we
want
go.
me to say?
You're on
Where'd you get
tomorrow.
to? I'm on tomorrow? Okay. Showers continue, a high 59. I've never done a split forecast. It's kind of cool. Afternoon rain likely on Wednesday. That's going to be turning cooler. Seasonal temperatures, should say, high 42. Then rain starting to move out. Colder Thursday, high 39. Thursday night, slight chance of snow after 2 a.m., a low 29.
There's January.
And then sunshine returns for Friday, a high 41. So finally we get to see a little sun, some clouds mixed in, and 54.
Telling you that blizzard's hiding. It's going to come and get me one of these days. It is 9 o'clock on the dot.
Have a good day, everybody.
Test and time, 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Kay's Kitchen.
There's an advantage in being the home team. You know who. Emma Talley, Jake Lewis, and Pat Gates are. You've seen the wall around Butler Stadium and have heard of the Caldwell Crazies. Trice Hughes. We're your home team. Here's our home team deal of the week.
2018 Buick Regal, 13,000 miles, Trice priced at $269 per month for 72 months.
Get this home team deal of the week at Trice Hughes. Find us on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or tricehughes.com.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. This evening in Iowa, we'll get the first results of the 2020 presidential primary campaign.
Caucus goers will gather tonight at 7 o'clock in support of their candidate.